Happy Easter. Perhaps the key question that comes to us as we continue our Easter journey is the one that Jesus puts to Peter. Do you love me? Peter had betrayed Jesus in his most needy hour, not out of malice, but out of weakness. And now facing Jesus for the first time, Peter's uncomfortable. What do you say after betraying someone? Well, he didn't really need to say anything. Jesus took the initiative, and he didn't excuse Peter. Jesus didn't say things like, it's perfectly understandable to be afraid in a situation like that. You weren't really yourself. I understand how that can happen. He didn't even tell Peter that he still loves him. None of that. He simply asked Peter, do you love me? And when Peter said yes, everything moved forward. No excuses were needed. The excusable doesn't need to be excused, and the inexcusable cannot be excused. Our humanity already explains why we are prone to betrayal. What needs to be spoken in the wake of betrayal is a reaffirmation of love. Yes, apologies are important, both for the one offering and the one receiving. Until then, there's always unfinished business. However, apologies and contrition are not what ultimately moves things forward. When a relationship has been wounded or broken, what moves things forward is a renewed commitment to love, to a deeper faithfulness. That doesn't give us permission to appeal to our inept human nature as an excuse for betrayal or stupidity. We're human. The lesson, rather, is that whenever our ineptness has us fall into betrayal, what ultimately moves things forward is a renewed commitment. And that is exactly what Peter experiences. It is what stretches him, takes him in a different direction. Jesus says to Peter after he restates his commitment, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will put a rope around you and take you where you would rather not go. What Jesus is describing is Peter's baptism and the dynamics of any real baptism. Baptism consecrates us. Consecration is like a conscriptive rope that takes us where we would rather not go, namely into that suffering that helps us to grow. We tend to think of consecration as having something to do with a church building, an altar, or maybe religious vows or a religious habit. But to consecrate means to set aside, to displace from ordinary usage. To be consecrated by baptism means we're called out of our normal agenda, set aside in service to the church, the community of faith, in service to the common good. We see that happen in marriage. Couples have children, and those children are like a rope that take them where they had never planned to go. We all have made mistakes and failed, and during Easter we're called to renew our commitment and to renew our baptism and to accept that, yes, the Lord has put a conscriptive rope around us and called us to service. And that service will involve suffering, and that suffering will give us maturity and grace. Our response to his question is always, Lord, you know I love you.